With Way Back Arcades back at you with another stream. Today I'm going to play Nintendo's 1943 Battle of Midway, and I decided we're gonna do something a little different. I'm connected a retro Nintendo controller to the PowerConsole, and I'm going to try to play this game with the Nintendo controller. So before we get started, if you could subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell, like the video, that would be great. We've been doing a lot of streaming. There's some other videos that are going to be coming out soon, so you'll just get notified if you are subscribed and you hit the notification bell when our other videos are coming out. And let's get started. Okay. All right. Some of you may know this game from. This is also an arcade game by Capcom. But I'm gonna try the Nintendo version so I can use the controller. All right. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, here we go. Now we're playing. Should be playing. Technology sometimes. Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right. I'm just gonna pause this for a minute. I feel like I'm running in slow motion. So let's see if we're actually. I'm doing this myself, so let's see if we actually are. All right. I am going. I'm gonna. We're gonna restart this. Something looks like something's weird. Something weird is going on. So we're gonna just. You get to see how we get back into this. Okay. Battle of Midway. We're gonna play. Okay. Much better. Much better. Let's see. All right. No. Let's get started. Let's get going on this. Oh, here we go. Much better. This is way better now. This is what I'm used to here. All right. So yeah, so some of you may remember this. This is an arcade game. There's also a Nintendo version of this, and this is one of my favorite arcade games. So I figured I'd play this on the Nintendo, just so I can try to use the retro controller. Retro controller, just like a like a normal Nintendo controller, except it's USB and it's compatible with the PowerConsole, the 23,000 game PowerConsole. Steering wheels are compatible. Other controllers are compatible. We've got Sega controller to work, Nintendo controllers to work, Xbox version controllers, Xbox type controllers to work. It's pretty cool. And when it's my days to stream, you're gonna see me doing a lot of Nintendo. Nintendo is my favorite console. I mean, I'm not very good at some of these games, but we but I do enjoy them. So I'm gonna just be playing them for you so you can see. But yeah, definitely looks a little definitely looks different than the arcade version. I mean, it's the same premise, but graphics are a little different because this is Nintendo and not Capcom Arcade. So, and I don't know. I don't know why. I guess why I like this one. Just one of my favorites besides all the Mario games. Just yeah, Sean actually introduced me to this game on the arcade version, and um, and I just fell in love with it ever since. I do die a lot though. I don't know. I just oh yeah, I'm gonna die again, but I still like it. I have to be more do a little better job at oh, did I not? Oh. Oh. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah. I know on my past streams when I've been playing Nintendo games, I've said that having trouble with the joysticks on the Nintendo games. Yeah, I do like the retro controller a lot better. And if you guys that's something like you guys are interested in with the console, just let us know and we can source it. We're thinking about sourcing it, so that's something you guys would be interested in. The different retro controllers. Oh yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. That big when we get to the big ship, that gets me every time. Ugh, starting all over. It's fine. It's fine. We're just playing. Okay, here we go. Ah. Ah. Oh man. All right, well, just keep playing. Well, one day I'll get further on this. Just a programming note. Also, um, I'm gonna be starting up a new series probably coming out next week. It's called going to be Did You Know? And we're going to be talking about the history of video gaming and some other video gaming trivia. It's not going to be streaming. It's more of a educational video. And we're going to be talking about the first episode is going to be an overview of the history of home consoles. And if you guys like that one, I'm going to go into in more depth in other videos on each generation of home console. There are 9 generations of home console, and I can I'm gonna if you guys like the first one, that'll just gonna be an overview of all 9 generations. I'm gonna go in more depth on in other videos. If, so be something different, something a little different than the streaming. Hope you guys will like that one because it's doing the research is fun. That's fine. Doing the research is it's fun for me, so I enjoy it. Fun fact: Nintendo was the 3rd generation of console that came out and released in North America in 1985. They were actually part of the 1st generation, but they only released in Japan the color TV games it was called, and then after the 2nd generation there was a home console collapse because of the PC. The PC was becoming more popular, so so after the 2nd generation, so Nintendo wanted to launch in the United States, and so in the 3rd generation in 1983 they came out with the Famicom in Japan, and then in 1983 they decided to launch in the United States, and they didn't want to promote it as a video game console, so they decided to change the name to the Nintendo Entertainment System as more of a family entertainment system rather than a video game console. And history, the history with that, they became one of the most popular video game companies after that, until you get towards the latter generations, or the later generations, and they started a compete with Sony and Microsoft. But Nintendo, I'll probably do a video on this sometime, but a preview, Nintendo wasn't always a video game company. In 1889, they started as a playing card company in Japan. And in the 50s and 60s, they started switching gears. They wanted to get into the video game business. It's gonna get me every time. But that's okay. That's okay. We'll play a little more, and yeah, we'll just play a little more. But also, fun fact: the first console ever produced was the Magnavox Odyssey in 1972, and it was called like a and the console, the console had only a handful of games, and the games were actually on the machine. So whatever games came with the machine is the only games you could play. And at this point, we only had like Pong type game, so they named some of the games as you had Pong, you had volleyball, all games that were very much essentially Pong. And then Atari got in the game with the home Pong game because they adapted that from their arcade machine, and you had some other ones come out, but in the first generation, you had a ton. You had thousands. You had over 1,000 companies come out with home consoles, and they all pretty much cloned Pong, but not they were not as successful as Atari or Magnavox. And then you started seeing them. Oh man! Then you started seeing them start to tweet out, and you get your more popular your popular systems. And then, like I said, in 1983, at the end of the second generation, you have the crash, and so all these companies started started releasing their consoles in Japan. That's when Japan became popular, because before it was the United States. The first two generations was the United States. Then they decided to take a chance on North America, but had to adapt it because they were competing with the PC. And then you have Nintendo coming to North America, and Sega, and you still have Atari. Another reason for the collapse was that Atari released at the end of the second generation released their Atari 5200 machine, and but they rushed the release. There was problems with it, so that's part of what caused the collapse. Besides PCs becoming inexpensive and more popular. And then the fourth generation, you see Super Nintendo and some Sega, and that's when and Neo Geo. You see Neo Geo in there too. They wanted to get into the home console business, even though they were in the arcade business. Ugh, gets me every time. Let's see if I can do any better this time around. China, come on. Oh yeah, I'm gonna die now. Okay, let's try to. Woo. Okay, I did a little better this time. All right, I'm gonna try again. But at the end of the fourth generation, you have the CDs come. So you have the Sega and Neo Geo coming out with their CD adapters, because at the end of the fourth generation, CDs, optical discs in the form of CDs, became less expensive. So you can so manufacturers started moving towards CDs. So they made devices that could attach to your console, Sega, and Sega and Neo Geo. But there were still the adapters were very expensive. They're almost as much as the console cost, so that didn't work out. And Nintendo was partnered with Sony, but they had a falling out. So that's how you get the PlayStation in the fifth generation because because Sony parted and Nintendo parted ways. So Nintendo was still using the fifth generation. Nintendo was still using cartridges, where all the other companies, all the other manufacturers were using CDs and DVDs, like Sony. So Sony started in the fifth generation, and then at the end of the sixth generation, see, oh, you see Sega. Sega leaves the picture at the end of the sixth generation because the Dreamcast didn't do so well, and they were pretty much done because you had Xbox, or you had the Xbox come out, and you had Sony, and you had Nintendo, and they were like we're done. We're done with the hardware. Um, we're done with the hardware industry. We're gonna focus on software. So it's pretty interesting, the history. You just start with something that was Pong like, and then a few years later you start with then you end up with the cartridges like Nintendo and Sega and some other smaller companies. Atari, you have Atari in there. And the last of the cartridges was Nintendo 64. So that was the generation. Nintendo was still using cartridges because they didn't have the manufacturing capabilities or the relationships like Sony did to create machines of CDs or DVDs. So they were still using cartridges. But the thing with cartridges is that Nintendo wanted to get into the video game business, the game making business. So they didn't want you to be able to use other cartridges in their machines. So they put in a special chip that would lock you out if you were using another cartridge other than Nintendo. That's how they got you there. And and then uh, Nintendo ended up with the after the Nintendo 64, they put out the GameCube, which was the first to use the mini DVD. They finally got into the optical disc business, but yeah, it still had Xbox and you still had Sony, you still PlayStation out there, so they were a little bit more advanced. But the GameCube, you could still connect I think it was you could connect cart, your Game Boy cartridges to your machine, so that was pretty cool too. But I think that's enough of me dying. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Learned a little something. Check out that video on the home consoles next week. We're gonna still be streaming every day with Sean and I, and we'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell if you like what you see. Thanks. Bye.